Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this
Morning Uganda Extra.
Good morning and thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome to the Extra. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Ntono. But first and foremost, allow me remind you that we are always here from 6:30. Every weekday, me, Joanne, Julie, and Ruben comes in with the world of sports, giving you the sports updates. So you must make it a date because it is the only place where you start your life or your morning very early, very informed of what is happening globally and locally. Now, welcome to the Extra, an extension of Good Morning Uganda. And I usually have a guest or two, and we look at issues of national concern. Now, this morning, we are going to be focusing on the 9th Water Week. Now, what is the Water Week? This is the 9th, but we've had many. And I'm not the very best alone to discuss this. I have a commissioner, and join me welcome Dr. Kalistindi Mugaya, who is the Commissioner, Water Resource, Planning and Regulation at the Ministry of Water and Environment. Doctor, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, and good morning, viewers.
And at the extreme end, I have Gilbert Guma, who is the Country Manager, Water.org, Uganda. He's with me on set, and of course, he's more on the financing bit of things here, one of the development partners. Good morning, Gilbert, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Chirabo, and good morning, viewers.
Now, having known the panel of people that I'm having this morning, first and foremost, let me first have the Commissioner, Doctor. When we talk about this ministry, it's very broad, but what is your mandate, briefly?
Yes, thank you very much. The Ministry of Water and Environment is the government institution responsible for all issues of water, environment, and climate change. We are responsible for providing water for drinking in rural and urban areas, water for production. We manage this resource so that it is available for different uses. We also look at the environment. We look at wetlands, forests, and riverbanks. We also coordinate climate action on behalf of the country.
Now, that being said, still coming back to you, Commissioner, when you talk about the Water Week, we are now discussing the 8th because the 9th is just going to be happening between the 23rd and the 27th, to the 27th of this very month. But let's look at this entire background of Water Week. When did it come in place, and what is the intention of the Water Week?
Thank you very much. The Uganda Water and Environment Week started in 2018, in March 2018. Basically, to recognize that water touches everybody, touches every aspect of life. And if we are looking at water, then you need to bring all those stakeholders together to look at how water actually comes into being, how it can be utilized, and how it can be managed. But water is part of the overall environment, and that's why we call it Water and Environment Week. So we are looking at water and the resources that make that water available, the environment. But also we know that water touches every aspect of life. We need it for drinking, we need it for agriculture, we need it for hydropower generation, we need it for industrial development, for navigation, for fisheries. And you cannot deal with these resources that touches everybody as a ministry alone. So we decided to establish a platform where we bring all the stakeholders together from the local level, district level, up to the national level, including also our partners beyond Uganda, to actually talk about water and environment resources. How can we ensure these resources are available now and in the future? And how can we ensure that we create businesses, we create jobs, we improve incomes around these resources? So the Uganda Water and Environment Week is a platform through which all the stakeholders come together, talk about water, see how we can utilize water, and how we can make water available now and in the future to help us meet all our needs.
Now, Gilbert, when we talk about Water.org, this may be new to many people. Now, what does your organization do, and where do you come in the picture?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Water.org is an NGO, an international NGO, This is an NGO that has been in the water space as way back as 2011. And we used to support small community projects to do water and sanitation interventions, supporting people to access water from within their communities using the natural resources available. However, over time, we did quite a lot of learning as an organization, and we transformed into a financing institution in a sense that we provide technical assistance. So the institution, our vision is to see that everyone has access to water and sanitation for all. However, the way we do it is what makes the difference, is the game changer. We partner with financial institutions to break barriers around financing so that the common person who can approach a financial institution is able to self-access water and a sanitation facility. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. We partner with financial institutions to enable individuals, houses, communities, institutions access water and sanitation.
Well, more clarity on that. How do you partner? Do you give them, is it in a loan scheme? You know, be more clear, please.
Thank you. So as an organization, we have studied how financial institutions work. Part of our role is to provide technical support. So whereas a financial institution doesn't have experts around water and sanitation, so what we play as a role is an intermediary role to ensure that we bring the knowledge, the capacity, the technical aspects around innovation and technology to ensure that there is a fit, and we work with the financial institution to create a product around water and sanitation. Therefore, that means that every bank client can be able to access that loan for water and sanitation and acquire a facility of their choice. Thank you.
Doctor, now when we talk about water and environment, I'm eager to know what is the status of our water resources and the environment as we speak.
Thank you very much. Of course, water is first and foremost needed for drinking. So we always talk about access to safe water. So right now, we are not doing well, although we have been making some good progress. About 67% of Ugandans in rural areas accessing safe drinking water, and about
that is
67%
in rural areas.
In rural areas, and 72% in urban areas. So what it means is that there are many Ugandans who are not accessing these services, and we have a very big job to do. And that's why for us, partnering with the organization like water.org and the financing institution becomes very important, because it's all about financing. We need more money to make sure that water is available. But this water is also under increasing pressure from pollution. You could have, and viewers could have recently followed the developments around Lake Victoria turning green because of algae. That means the water is polluted. And when you are treating the polluted water, it is very, very expensive. But also this water is also available in big quantities in the rainy season, and in the dry season in some areas you find that the rivers are almost dry. So the challenge we are having is water availability in space and time. Some places have too much water causing floods, some have too little water. So the challenge we are having right now is to manage that variability so that we have water available in good quantity and the right quality all year round. And that's what we work on as a ministry.
Now also that brings me to efforts you're putting in place to ensure that our ecosystem is sustainably utilized.
Yes, indeed. And of course, when you talk about ecosystems, you can't miss talking about wetlands. You can't miss talking about forests. Wetlands are stores of water. Wetlands filter water, and wetlands are key in maintaining the climate. But we can also get a lot of benefits, create jobs and improve incomes around wetlands. That's why for us, protecting water resources or managing water resources is part of looking at the ecosystem. There is no way you can ensure that water is available unless you protect the ecosystem. And that's why the Ministry of Water and Environment looks at water and environment issues in a holistic manner. water is part of the environment. You cannot talk about water without talking about the environment and vice versa. But we're also trying to make sure that water and environment resources help us create jobs, improve incomes, and get people to get out of poverty. If you talk about the parish development model, for example, we are trying to bring people into money economy. And you cannot achieve it without looking at how you manage these natural resources. So on one hand, we want water to be available for drinking, but also want this water to help us create jobs and improve people's incomes. And that's why we talk about water for production.
Gilbert, how can we leverage on both public and private partnership to ensure universal access to water?
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the Ministry of Water and Environment. The fact that financial institutions today can be found seated in the boardrooms of the Ministry of Water and Environment speaks a lot around the public-private partnerships. We know we have an act that was put in place in 2015 to support this whole process. So this public-private act has been a very important environment for us to be able to partner with several stakeholders. For a very long time, we have known water to be a public good, and therefore that meant provision by government. However, as the resources continue to become scarce, aspects of climate change, there is a need for us to all play a part, to diversify financing, to diversify players that can play a part in the aspects of enabling people to access water, the best sanitation, but also to protect our environment. In so doing, our model particularly encourages financial institutions to come and play a part in this role. Particularly, like I've already mentioned, we have quite a number of financial institutions that have introduced a water sanitation product in their banks, so that water does not remain a public good, but actually people can be able to access this from a private angle. So there is quite a lot that can be done. From the public angle, we continue to engage and advocate with government and several stakeholders to see how we can ease the environment. Recently, the Ministry of Water and Environment just signed an agreement with the Uganda Bankers Association to see that we bring in all the banks to participate in providing access to water, in providing access to sanitation, in providing protection mechanisms for our environment. There's quite a lot of packaging of these products in the banks themselves. But because there's been very little exposure, we don't probably know some of them. So my role, our role as Waterdog is to ensure that as many financial institutions and private sector come into this space to play and engage. Whereas the private sector, for example, take this as business, I think we have a platform, for example, in the Uganda Water Week that is coming up. There is a role they can play in exhibiting their products. They could engage, because we have an exhibition platform, they could engage with the businesses that have come to exhibit, the likes of tank manufacturers, pipe manufacturers that will be exhibiting, can engage with the financial institutions and provide a business line for them to continue to expand. And that, in a sense, provides access as a private-public partnership. There are other engagements that we are thinking and cooking. Particularly today, the global agenda is talking about environment protection and the aspects of climate change. We have been able to start engagements with banks around their ESG programs. ESG stands for Environment, Social and Governance, to ensure that they are able to tailor other products. For example, we are now thinking of engaging on increasing resources within water and sanitation and environment through discussions around greening, green bonds. They could also participate in areas around their corporate social responsibility. I know of institutions that have provided big water resources in refugee camps and these are financial institutions. And so there's quite a lot that can be done around the public-private partnerships. We know there's been quite a lot of involvement of the breweries in the sense of supporting the Water Week. We all know at one time we had MTN providing the race, the race we used to have, and the proceeds would go to, for example, water in Karamoja. So there's quite a lot we can tailor around public-private partnerships. Thank you.
Well, I can't forget to thank Rotarians in this country. They have done so much in that area. The Lions clubs, they have also done so much. And of course, I call upon the financial institutions. Public corporate responsibility is very important here. Give back to these people. So if there is any model that they can tailor there for the public to have monies, then get water, and maybe a payback plan. Though, Doctor, just this is one of the things that usually disturbs me when I'm engaging with many people. Some feel, why should we be paying for water?
Well, thank you very much.
Doctor, I'm going to give anything. Where do you manufacture water from?
Well, of course, we don't pay for water. We pay for accessing the water. Because where it is, the water may be in a lake. Now, to make that water from the lake come to your house or to your compound, it is a cost. But also that water is treated. Where we have, for example, water underground, you have to drill a borehole to get water from as deep as 100 meters to bring it, pump it to the surface. So what we are paying for is actually not water per se, it's the service, the cost of bringing that water. Otherwise, if we would pay for water, the cost would be exorbitant and we will not be able to pay. So I think I would want the viewers to know that every service you get has a cost attached to it. Somebody has to pay it. Government right now subsidizes a number of these things, but as individuals, we have to ensure that we meet some costs so that this water is available now and in the future. Otherwise, if it is not looked after, it will get finished and we will not have it.
Now, that was said, I go back to our major topic of the day, which is the Water Week, the Water and Environment Week 2026. We had the 8th in 2025. Doctor, I know my viewers are eager to know, what do you have in stock for the 9th Water and Environment Week?
Thank you very much. Again, as you have said, we have had Uganda Water and Environment Weeks for 8 years now running, and every year it is bigger and better. Now, what does it involve? We have, although we call it Uganda Water and Environment Week, but it's actually not a week. We would probably have called it months. We start about 3-4 months before the main event. The main event is going to take place from 23rd to 27th of March at the Ministry of Water and Environment in Ruzira, where we'll be having national celebrations composed of many, many activities. Before we go to the national event, we have what we call pre-event activities. The Ministry of Water and Environment has offices in 6 regions over the country. We have an office in Moroto for the Karamoja region. We have an office in Mbale for the eastern region. We have an office in Ira for the northern region, an office in Fort Portal for the western region, an office in Mbarara for the southwestern region, and an office in Wakiso for the central region. So each of these regional offices is actually organizing what we call mini Uganda Water and Environment Weeks. They are effectively starting this week to have the activities in their areas, but they started before with a number of activities, and each region has had a theme to focus on. For example, if you look at Karamoja, most of the areas in Karamoja are struggling with the drought. So the theme will be, how do we address drought? What kind of innovation do we put in place? There are some areas which are constantly suffering from floods. There are areas which are constantly suffering from landslides. Areas, for example, where water needed for livestock is a priority. So each region has a theme it is focusing on, again, to make sure that they address issues that affect people there. They have activities related, for example, to cleanup exercises, restoration. Some areas they will go and restore a forest that is degraded or a wetland. We have youth debates. We have Miss Climate change pageant where the girls are competing and will be getting winners that will come at the national level to compete. Again, we are raising awareness about climate change and how we can address that challenge. We have activities where we'll be launching some projects. We'll be having also debates on the regional level. We'll be having talk shows on radio, on TV at the regional level. But each region will also having a day where they bring the stakeholders to celebrate. So each of the regions is having activities, and we are having many people getting involved. We have, for example, universities, secondary schools and primary schools competing in the debates. They are going to come at the national level, and where we shall be having national debates. Again, we are having career talks. In each region, they will be taking people through how they can actually develop career in water, environment, and climate change. But we also have a walk for water, environment, and climate change. This year, we are having a team walking 560 kilometers from Moroto through eastern Uganda. They started last week on 2nd of March, and they will be ending on 20th next week here in Kampala. So again, we're having many activities going on, and they will climax with the national event.
Sorry to interject, what is the purpose of this walk? Are you raising money? Why are they walking? Are they creating awareness?
Yes. Again, as we have already said, sometimes people take water for granted. Even when we talk about, for example, people getting out of wetlands, people are saying, why is government chasing us out of wetlands? So the whole idea of the walk is to raise awareness about the importance of protecting water and environment resources, but also raise awareness on how we can utilize these resources to improve our livelihoods, to improve our incomes. So the walk is basically an awareness-raising activity where the workers pass. The Ministry of Water and Environment is partnering with the Uganda Workers Association. We are having professional workers, and they are walking on foot. They are not traveling in vehicles, or they are walking on foot. And every location they reach, they engage. For example, they will be going to some barracks and engaging the army, mobilizing them on how they can actually contribute. The other day, they visited Soroti Flying School. They are mobilizing the pilots and the people working in aviation. So along the route, we are basically raising awareness and trying to get people to know that issues of water, environment, and climate change are for all of us, and we need to come forward and address them. On Sunday, for example, they attended the church service at one of the Catholic churches. They again interface with the people. So through the walk, we are able to get the messages reach as many stakeholders as possible. And for us, we feel that that's the only way through which you can get people to contribute. People cannot contribute to something they don't understand, something they don't appreciate.
Very interesting there. Most of the walkers, how I wish I could get a glimpse of them walking, trekking all the way. That is a very big distance, but all in the name of creating awareness and sensitization. Now, allow me go for a break. I'll return with my guests, and of course, it is the 9th Water Week that is going to be running from the 23rd to the 27th of March this very year, creating awareness when it comes to the natural resource, that is the water and environment that God gave us as a gift, as stewards of it. Let's return.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome back from that break. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono, in case you've just joined. But we are looking at the 9th Water and Environment Week. And this is the 9th edition. That means we've had previous a number of them. And this will run from the 23rd to the 27th of this month. And with me in studios, I have Gilbert Guma, who is the country manager, Water.org, Uganda. And also I have Commissioner Dr. Tindi Mugaya, who is the Commissioner, Water Resources, Planning and Regulation at the Ministry of Water and Environment. Now, Doctor, before we went for a break, you had given us the regional celebrations. Now, I'm interested to know what we have at the national level.
Thank you very much. At the national level, we'll be starting with the opening ceremony on 23rd in the morning. And during the opening ceremony, we expect to have the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, as our guest of honor. We have the opening ceremony telecast live on TV. We shall be having keynote speakers. Again, we shall be having also guests. We expect the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Grace the Kazimba Mugaru, being one of our guests. We expect the UN agencies to be represented. We expect the resident representative of UNICEF to be one of our speakers. We always have cultural institutions. This time around, we are going to have the Toro Kingdom represented. We expect the Prime Minister of Toro Kingdom. So we are going to have the opening ceremony where we'll be having speeches really touching the importance of water and environment. And our theme for this year is Water and Environment for an Inclusive and Prosperous Uganda. We want to see how does water and environment resources actually contribute to this prosperity and development of Uganda. Without them, what will Uganda be like? With them, how can we ensure that we move forward and contribute the development of the country? Viewers may be aware that last year the country launched the 10-fold growth strategy, and during the Uganda Water and Environment Week, we are going to be focusing on how water and environment resources will contribute to the 10-fold growth strategy. And we'll be having, we expect the Governor of Bank of Uganda to be one of our speakers. We also have the former director of water at the African Environment Bank from Zambia will be one of our speakers. The following days, we will also be having high-level speakers. We expect the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance, to be one of the speakers. So we are going to be having discussion at the high level where we'll be positioning water and environment resources within the domain of socio-economic development. And after the keynote speeches, we normally have panel discussions where we get people coming in from different walks of life. We'll be having parliament. We'll also be having the UN agencies, the development partners, the civil society, the private sector. We have some banks involved there. We also have some private organizations that will be giving us their perspectives on how we can ensure that water and environment resources contribute to the development of the country. We'll also be having, within the Ministry of Water and Environment, we created a program for people who have retired. We call them Retired Water and Environment Professionals. And during the Uganda Water and Environment Week, we organize a half day which we call Greet and Meet Elders.
Hey.
So they will be coming. Wow. We have 110 of them. They will be coming. These are people who have contributed the growth of the sector. Some are from the academia. Out of that group, we have about 8 professors. We have 2 former ministers there. So we have a whole range of people that have contributed to the development of Uganda through water and environment. So on Monday afternoon, on 23rd in the afternoon, we shall be having a half day where they will be welcomed. They will be meeting with each other, but they will also be introduced to our various players, including the current staff. But we will also be receiving feedback from the regions. Again, as we said, that the 6 regions in the country will be having mini Uganda Water and Environment Weeks. So on the first day, they will give us feedback. What has happened? What has come out? What needs to be changed? What needs to change the policy, the practice? And we'll also be having a feedback from the work. The workers will also be giving an account on what they encounter. For example, some areas where maybe the situation of water environment is bad and action that needs to be taken. So throughout the week, we'll be having keynote presentations. We have 4 themes, one on 10-fold growth strategy, another one on leveraging the innovation, technology, and capacity to ensure that water and environment resources contribute to the development of the country. We'll also be looking at how we can ensure that to address the impacts of climate change so that it doesn't affect the people, the economies, and the infrastructure. We shall also be having a sub-theme on how to leverage on the power of the youth, women, and the children. And so all of those sub-themes will be discussed through a panel, a keynote, where we shall be having an expert talking about them, and after that we shall be having panel discussion. Within the week, we also have been having a mentorship program within a ministry. We have been mentoring young ladies and men, and the mentorship program runs for 6 months. So the mentees will be graduating in one of the days on Wednesday, which will be 25th. Again, we are having about 60 ladies and about 40 men that will be graduating. These are staff of the ministry, and we are mentoring them so that we can help them to be prepared to take on the challenges that we have. We also have an attachment program where we are attaching fresh graduates to different projects. They will also be graduating after the 1-year internship program. We also have a youth debate where The youth from the 6 regions will actually be, the winners from the 6 regions will be competing at the national level. We also have a career talk. So we have many activities, side events, about over 20 side events. We shall be having training, we shall be having field visits. We shall also be having exhibition where people are showcasing their technologies. So at the Ministry of Water and Environment during the week is going to be a beehive of activities where we have presentations, we have discussion, we have exhibitions. All of these are activities that are going to run the course of the week. And we shall close the Uganda Water and Environment Week on Friday, 27th, where we shall celebrate the World Water Day, World Forest Day, and World Meteorological Day. And we'll be closing with our guest of honor, who will be the Minister of Finance, Honorable Matia Kasaija will be our guest of honor. We'll also be having other guests, the country manager of World Bank. We shall also be having UNDP President Representative and many other guests that will be there. I guess attendance is by invitation. No, attendance is not by invitation. Attendance, we invite everybody. For example, if you are going to participate in the different discussions, there are 2 options. You can participate online. We shall be having an online option where you can participate on Zoom, and that one you don't have to pay anything. But if you want to participate physically in the different activities, you pay a small fee. We are talking about 200,000 shillings for a whole week. And that is money that is meant to cover some of the costs like meals. But the activities which you can participate in without paying, for example, exhibitions, they will be out. The walk, will be, you can participate in the walk for free. There are a number of activities you can participate in, but if you have to go into our meeting room, our auditorium, our conference hall, there we would want you to pay some money so that we are able to cover the cost. You will be able to get the materials, you'll also be able to get the meals, and also be able to access all the services that are offered. Now, Doctor, how does one get in touch? Right now, we have been sharing information on how you can join through TV, through radio. Also, we have been sharing the information through social media, but one can get information from the Ministry of Water and Environment website. So we are utilizing various means to share this information, but also we are located in Ruzira, so if there's anybody that would want to get information physically, you can reach out to us, but we have 6 regional offices, but we have partners that work with us, so the information can easily be accessed for you to join. Well, that was a detailed program of the national organizations of this year's Water and Environment Week, the 9th edition, what is going to be there and what you should expect. I was very interested on, I think, that representation. I don't want to miss that 10-fold strategy, how water will give us that limp or its contribution to that 10-fold strategy. I'm very excited to see Uganda there, how we are going to make it 10 times, you know, our economy growth. Now, coming back to you, Gilbert, when we talk about water.org, what has been your contribution in this sector, and if any, also in the 9th Water and Environment Week?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. As an organization, we've been able to support 4 commercial institutions, commercial banks, to embrace water, sanitation, hygiene, and environment as a financial product. When we began this process, I think water, sanitation were looked at as social goods, and these had no returns. That was the narrative in the financial institutions' boardrooms. However, we've been able to convince financial institutions that actually you can make some money from water, sanitation, hygiene, and environment as business lines. When you look at the value chains of these subsectors, you will see that there are players that are involved there. There are businesses, there are SMEs, small, medium enterprises that are participating. And these actually require financing. And so when you critically analyze those business lines, you see that there is quite some participation that financial institutions can have in supporting the process and the ecosystem around water, sanitation, hygiene, and environment. And so that has basically been our niche to ensure that there is business growth around access, supply, sanitation as an element, even environment itself. Overall, I think we must say that we have been learning a lot. We have not just looked at the commercial financial institutions, the banks, but lately we've been engaged also with the smaller institutions, the SACCOs and the MFIs at Tier 3 and Tier 4. These are levels of financing in the financial institution framework. We have over 40 institutions at the local level, many of which we call SACCOs, that are participating. We are saying at that level, no, let's not just have us borrowing from each other just for marrying another woman or getting other aspects that do not benefit the household. Let's borrow meaningfully and responsibly to have water at home, to have a toilet at home. When you go to the rural communities, we still have communities that have open defecation, and they are wondering how to be supported. So within their circles, they can be supported when we have a prototype product in there that supports them to be able to borrow and construct a toilet. So there's quite a lot that we have done. When I look at the statistics, so far we've been able to cover over 1 million people who are just borrowing to be able to access water and sanitation. Quite a lot of money, about $62 million have been sunk in by financial institutions. Initially, they were saying there was no business, but now we have an achievement of about $62 million US dollars in just loans to finance water, sanitation, and hygiene and environment. So that is for us a plus. It's a thumbs up that financial institutions are beginning to embrace that they can actually contribute in addition to the one-off corporate social responsibilities they do. In terms of the Water Week itself, I think we've been long-term partners of the Ministry of Water and Environment, supporting and sponsoring. Like you had Doctor break down the activities. There's quite a swarm of activities that require financing. We are co-sponsors, and we have been since as early as 2018 in supporting the processes of the Uganda Water Week. We have also been very strong at linking the ministry with the financial sector. Currently, there are quite a lot of engagements happening. I mentioned earlier that the ministry has signed a pact with the Uganda Bankers Association to see that we have more private sector, private institutions, the banks themselves come in to support in whatever way. We're currently engaged with other partners to see that training resources that support financial institutions that are not originally trained in the area of water and sanitation come into effect, that they are available for financial institutions to be able to appreciate the sector and then contribute. But also, we rally these financial institutions to participate during the exhibitions. They are able to show off, and they are going to show some of the products they are offering in terms of water, sanitation, environment, energy, that contribute to supporting the climate. And also, we have participated in the past, and we will continue to participate in producing papers and learning lessons and scaling on what more can be done by financial institutions that still have a doubt that we can actually participate in water, sanitation, and environment.
Well, I love the fact that you're selling it to the financial institutions, that this is something where you can make profits, because for them it's all about profit, away from when you talk about their public corporate responsibility, where some come in if they can also focus on water. Now, Doctor, yes, I see time seems to be flying very fast, but what lessons of what impact, if you are to look at, for example, the last 8 Water and Environment Week, what is there that we can take home?
Thank you very much. When I look back in 2018, basically we started with very, very few players. But as I speak now, we are engaging with all sorts of stakeholders. For example, we used not to have anything to do with the cultural institutions. As I speak now, we have partnerships with the Uganda Kingdom. All the activities we engage, Uganda Kingdom is involved. The activities they organize, we are involved. And the Uganda Kingdom, of course, is one of the biggest cultural institutions that can help us to rally the people to come and contribute. If it had not been for the Uganda Water and Environment, we wouldn't be having cultural institutions. We have an MOA with the Toro Kingdom. We have an MOA with the Obusinga Ruru. We are now engaging with the Busoga Kingdom, with Nyoro Kingdom, and others. So we are also engaging with the religious institutions. As I told you, we have been having heads of the religious institution being part of the Uganda Water and Environment Week. Now we engage, they understand issues related to water and environment very well, and they can advocate for us. And because they have networks, we can use those networks actually to deliver our messages at almost no cost. Private sector, as Gilbert has mentioned, we used not to engage with the private sector. We used to look at them as people are interested only in making money, the banks. But right now we engage. If you see the discussion we're having with the banks, the fact that we have signed an MOU with the Uganda Bankers Association, that also tells you that there is something that you have in common. You enter into an MOU to express interest to work together when you have common objectives. But also the academia. Right now, the academia, we are now negotiating memorandum of understanding with almost all the universities that teach courses related to water, environment, and climate change. But we also have international partners that come to Uganda for the Uganda Water and Environment Week. This year we have a team, about 8 people coming from Liberia. They wrote to us, they say, we want to come to Uganda and benchmark and see what we are doing. We have organizations coming from the US, from Europe, all over. And all of these come in with money, and of course the money remains in the country. But we have also achieved a lot of financing because we have been able to demonstrate the importance of water, environment, and climate change, and many people see why they are important. Right now funding has come up. We used to not have money from foundations. Now we are getting money from Hilton Foundation. They have been funding our programs. Recently they actually gave $5 million to African Development Bank to help Uganda design projects so that the African Development Bank can fund them after designing them. So for us, resource mobilization has come up greatly because of the Uganda Water and Environment Week. But we have also demonstrated that we're a sector that is innovative, that is open, that is transparent. And because of that, we are getting many organizations and individuals wanting to come to work with us. We have also been able to mobilize funding from climate financing. We have a number of projects that are helping us to address climate financing. So I must say they are quantifiable benefits, but they are also benefits which you may not quantify. But if I see the number of partners that we have now, over 80 partners work with us from less than 5. So it's a very big achievement, and that's why for us as the Minister of Water and Environment, it's an opportunity but a challenge to keep the Uganda Water and Environment Week of good quality, to deliver value to our partners so that they can continue working with us.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor. Now, in the interest of time, for more programming to come your way, allow me give each of my guests a minute for their parting shot, and I'll begin with Gilbert.
Thank you. I think mine is to encourage and rally private sector to participate in the Uganda Water and Environment Week. There's quite a lot to learn. There are quite a number of models. There are quite a number of business cases that you're able to pick up and learn and adopt for your businesses, but also the linkages that will provide you more business. So you're welcome to the Uganda Water and Environment Week, come 23rd to 27th. Thank you.
And Doctor, as we move out of here.
Yes, I would want to appeal to Ugandans out there and non-Ugandans, you come and join us. Water is life, sanitation is dignity. There is no way you can survive without water, but also ensuring that this water is available for everybody. We all need to come forward together, and the Uganda Water and Environment Week provides this opportunity. Again, as I've indicated, we have many players, people we don't normally interface with. For example, having a governor of Bank of Uganda speak to us, for us it's an honor. Getting the Minister of Finance to come for the Prime Minister. So I really would want to call upon Ugandans to come and join us either online or physically to contribute to the betterment of this country, to contribute to the tenfold growth strategy through sustainable development and management of water and environment resources. And I want to assure you that we will be welcome. Come to the Ministry of Water and Environment from 23rd to 27th. You will see how water and environment resources are contributing and how you can also contribute. And all stakeholders are invited, private sector, civil society, cultural institutions, religious institutions, and everybody that depends on water, that has an interest in water. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, and above all, my viewer, thank you so much for being with us. Water and Environment Week 2026, the 9th edition. Ensure you take part or follow online. God bless you. See you tomorrow.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.